An unexpected and shocking announcement by President Obama has shaken the country to its core. Everyone is talking about the former president again because of his influential speeches and profound impact. His remarks, according to those in the know, are changing the discourse from Washington, D.C., to American living rooms nationwide. What, precisely, did Obama say that has the nation abuzz? What does this portend for his political legacy and America's political landscape going forward? Marriage Rocked by Secrets is here to help you make sense of the shocking revelation and all the ways it has changed your life. When asked about the challenges of her marriage to Barack Obama, Michelle Obama was candid in her book. Life was difficult for almost a decade. They were taking care of young children as Barack's political career was gaining momentum. She didn't sugarcoat the common issues that strain any marriage. Just like managing their relationship, family, and job all at once. However, when things became tough, they sought out counseling and improved their communication skills. She claims that they became closer throughout these difficult times. However, Barack Obama kept a secret from the public regarding an intriguing aspect of his childhood. Before he met Michelle, this man had a string of romances. 3 ladies had a significant impact on him and are privy to his innermost secrets. Some have speculated that he has chosen to remain silent regarding certain aspects of his history due to a certain relationship. With new information coming to light and old rumors swirling about, people everywhere are asking how much of Barack Obama's narrative remains hidden. Unrecognized females. Laid bare. His early life was profoundly affected by 3 ladies before he became famous. In college, he met Alex McNear, who would later become his first serious girlfriend. They went on a long-distance relationship, communicating via letters on weighty issues like politics, race, and philosophy. As is typical with first loves, the relationship terminated despite their intense connection. Later, in the mid-1980s, he crossed paths with Genevieve Cook in New York. They developed a closer bond. Even in her journal, she made mention of him, painting a picture of a man who was full of vision and profoundly contemplative. Unfortunately, he and Genevieve's relationship ended just as his one with Alex. However, the most interesting tale concerns Sheila Miyoshi Yeager, whose name was unknown to the general public until very recently. She wasn't like Alex or Genevieve, who were just another girlfriend. He was a community organizer in Chicago for 3 years, and Sheila lived with him the whole time. She witnessed his transformation from an idealist with lofty goals into someone hellbent on a political career. They had a strong bond when he was still finding his identity and his path in life. Is that why her chapter remains secret? What does her account tell us about the man everyone believed they knew? A love that has faded away. Secret reality. Michiko Miyoshi. He had profound feelings for Yeager, the woman he proposed to twice. Her relatives first rejected her. She rejected him the second time around because she saw a change in him brought about by his increasing political aspirations. He departed for Harvard Law School shortly thereafter, and they ended their relationship. His diverse circle of friends reflected his upbringing in both Indonesia and Hawaii. However, Sheila claims that he hadn't fully embraced his black identity at that time. As his involvement with black communities and politics grew, she saw him undergo a metamorphosis. She had fallen for a man who was evolving into someone else, a man who meticulously controlled his public persona despite his lofty political aspirations. He seemed to be creating an alternate identity entirely. Something revealing comes out of Sheila's story. It wasn't until he accepted and embraced who he was that he started to forge his own path. At the time, he was still finding both. How did his most significant connection change as a result of those decisions? Their marriage. Bombshell. Barack continued to give his undivided attention to his profession even after he wed Michelle. Always away campaigning, working late, or plotting his political next move, he rarely returned home. On her own, Michelle took care of the majority of the family's needs. Routine parent responsibilities include escorting children to and from school and extracurricular activities. When the family's labor wasn't divided properly, it was difficult for her to pursue her own career goals. Much to everyone's amazement, this continued for a full decade, causing tension between them. However, it was not the last of it. Michelle claims that they dealt with years of pent-up tension and damaged feelings in order to repair what was shattered. Their time in the White House is over, and their girls are grown, so now everyone is wondering if they're happy. Or simply more adept at concealing their issues. People started talking when Michelle skipped major occasions like Jimmy Carter's burial. People may worry whether there's a problem when couples spend so much time apart, even though it's common for busy couples to accomplish activities alone. And further dimension to the way people perceive the Obamas' relationship is that they have always been viewed as a model black marriage. Is it just me, or are those issues already behind us, or are new ones emerging? The never-ending whispers. The Obamas' time apart isn't merely due to hectic schedules, according to several Washington insiders. Rumor has it that Barack and Michelle have been living apart for a while now. The rumors continue to circulate, although none of them has officially verified it. Michelle Obama's recent birthday letter that Barack put online sparked even more conversation. Though he generally composes these touching odes to her, his most recent communication had an oddly formal and impersonal tone. He chose an unflattering photo of Michelle and wrote a formal description, departing from his customary warm and welcoming style. The tone was more like a formality than a genuine birthday greeting. The internet community took notice of this immediately. Speculation about a marital crisis ensued in the comments section. On one hand, fans felt it confirmed the divorce rumors they'd heard, while on the other, they noticed that Michelle hadn't shared her normal heartfelt birthday message to him. Are they finally addressing long-ignored concerns, apart from the common goal of raising their children or the bringing them together responsibilities of public office? Her silence in the divorce theory stoked the fires of speculation. There will always be rumors about renowned couples. The Obamas are always in the spotlight because they are one of the most watched couples in the world. However, in certain cases, there is also fire. Some feel the family no longer has the same unifying force now that their daughters are grown and independent. They can also be planning their next move in advance. Many appear to think that couples who are considering a breakup may be biding their time until it's just right. Some have speculated that, given the current state of politics, they may be waiting until after the next major election in order to avoid stirring up trouble. The Obamas may be more concerned with maintaining a public image than resolving their personal problems, especially if Michelle decides to enter politics herself. Not only would Barack's reputation take a hit, but so would the country's as well. Whatever Michelle has in store for the future could take a major hit if this happens. Are the Obamas still a unit, or are they experts at keeping their public marriage apart? Obama, Aniston, and the scandal. With the release of yet another major story, the rumor mill has gone into hyperdrive. Rumor has it that Barack is involved with Jennifer Aniston. Everyone on social media is talking about it, even if it seems ridiculous. The chain reaction began with the release of a direct message, DM, purportedly from a close friend of Jennifer's. Jennifer allegedly informed guests at an intimate gathering that she and the ex-president were dating each other, according to the message. What followed simply added petrol to the fire, as if it weren't enough to cause mayhem enough. Jennifer did something strange as the rumors began to circulate. On her Instagram, she disabled commenting. More speculation was stoked by this. An old Jimmy Kimmel clip, which people began circulating, further masked the culprit. As soon as Obama's name came up in the interview, Jennifer began to behave suspiciously. Her response left everyone wondering about their relationship because she became flustered and couldn't get her words out correctly. When your publicist calls, you could be wondering, oh no, what is it going to be? For example, the email that claims a shabby tabloid will fabricate a story. At that point, it's over. Could her uncomfortable reaction be due to nervousness or an indication that there may be more going on than she is willing to acknowledge? Tears in the history book. Despite internet speculation, the Obamas have remained silent. They are remaining true to who they always are, exemplary public servants and devoted family members. But now there are more voices raising doubts about the flawless image they've presented to the globe. Even though the Obamas haven't commented on the rumors, they're beginning to erode their carefully cultivated brand, which might impact their remaining political influence. The focus has shifted to Michelle Obama's future as rumors persist. The fight against kid obesity was spearheaded by First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative. School lunch programs began offering healthier options after she successfully lobbied food manufacturers to reduce calorie content. In an effort to encourage healthy eating, she also established a vegetable garden in the White House. Through her work for workplace justice and anti-discrimination campaigns, she has also been an outspoken supporter of women's rights and racial equality. When she enters the political arena, will her achievements be overshadowed by rumors about her and the public scrutiny of her personal life? Damage control or Valentine's Day? Unexpected emotions were created across social media in response to Barack Obama's Valentine's Day homage to Michelle. His first Instagram post was a heartfelt tribute to their 32 years of marriage, in which Michelle referred to him as "my rock." However, others were skeptical of his second post. A lot of people thought they timed it to dispel the marriage rumors that were starting to spread, given that other posts had already caused some to wonder. The couple's tight smiles and icy body language were among the criticisms leveled at the newly released photo of them holding hands in a wine cellar. The fact that Michelle didn't show up to any public ceremonies, like Jimmy Carter's burial, only served to heighten the speculation about their connection. While Donald Trump and Barack were spotted chatting at the funeral, Barack chose to ignore the mounting speculation by stating that Michelle is free to choose her own look and that he has no say over her. However, as talk turns to his public and private life, many are forced to question if Barack Obama's personal life can ever be entirely divorced from his political life. Memories of a lifetime in becoming the first African American, first president of mixed racial heritage, and first commander-in-chief born in Hawaii, Barack Obama made history on January 20, 2009, when he became the 44th president of the United States. He won 2 terms that historians and political scientists today consider to be among the top tier of American presidencies, after overcoming John McCain in 2008 and Mitt Romney in 2012. His administration came to an end on January 20, 2017, and Republican Donald Obama took office immediately afterward, ushered in a period of rapid policy change in the United States. He began significant initiatives to improve healthcare, extended the Children's Health Insurance Program, and signed the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. He oversaw the removal of prohibitions on embryonic stem cell research, the adoption of new ethical standards to limit the power of lobbyists, and the promotion of LGBTQ rights through United Nations declarations. In light of the public's intense interest in his private life, how will history weigh the weight of his leadership? A change in leadership: the national debt was equal to almost 50% of GDP when Obama assumed office. It increased to about 75% by 2014. During the Great Recession, which began in 2009 and lasted until 2012, when tax revenue fell dramatically, much of this occurred. Obama went in a different direction than the European nations, which were cutting expenditure significantly. The Simpson-Bowles Commission was established in 2010 by him to address the mounting debt. Their return was a hodgepodge of proposals. Spend less on the military, less on Medicare and Medicaid, less on government employees, and lengthier waiting periods for Social Security benefits. Although Congress did not vote on these proposals, they served as a basis for subsequent strategies to address the national debt. Some of the most contentious parts of his presidency would arise from the policies of his administration, which were defined by a struggle between openness and secrecy, claims, hidden information, and consequences. He campaigned on a platform of leading the most open government in American history. One of his first acts in office was to make good on this pledge by ordering the posting of all legislation and executive directives online for public scrutiny before signing. Additionally, he directed agencies to prioritize public access to information and reversed an earlier order that had limited access to presidential records. The Open Government Partnership and the Open Government Directive were programs established by his administration to encourage government entities to share information and work together with the public. Already in his first month on the job, Obama showed signs of weakness by twice ignoring his campaign promise to conduct a public review. His government had a tangled web of dealing with secrecy, despite attempts to encourage openness. Despite his efforts to lower the classification of documents to historic legislation, he persisted in using secret memos and the privilege of state secrets. When the administration encountered internal obstacles, the simmering tension between transparency and concealment reached a boiling point. How will Obama strike a balance between keeping sensitive information under control and fulfilling his promise of transparency? Assaults on whistleblowers. A daring step towards accountability, his revelation of memos from the Bush administration exposed CIA torture techniques. But his treatment of whistleblowers revealed a different side of his administration, one that would be far less tolerant when internal challenges to secrecy were made. A new low point in the persecution of whistleblowers occurred under Obama's presidency. His government vigorously punished individuals accused of disclosing state secrets under the 1917 Espionage Act. Those who were implicated included Thomas Drake, a former employee of the NSA, Stephen Jean Woo Kim, a contractor for the State Department, and John Kiriakou, a former analyst for the CIA. Stood trial in front of a camera. Some have questioned whether accountability and openness could coexist given the administration's history of going after leakers. The controversy over transparency and responsibility erupted as the campaign against informants grew more severe. Is it possible that the pursuit of leakers by the administration is warranted by the need to protect the nation? Or was it an act of deceit against the openness that Obama had pledged? The impact of Snowden. When Edward Snowden exposed the extent to which the NSA was spying on regular people, he flipped Washington on its head. While working as a contractor for the National Security Agency, he revealed evidence of extensive monitoring systems that monitored internet use, emails, and phone calls. Opinions were divided. He was hailed by some as a courageous whistleblower. Some thought he had betrayed his nation. Even as he fled to Russia, Snowden's disclosures revealed the persistent conflict between the need for government transparency and the concerns of national security. Balancing these competing needs became a tough task for Obama's presidency. Obama was badly affected by the 2010 midterms. Voters frustrated with the sluggish economy and the emerging Tea Party movement helped the Republicans secure a resounding victory. John Boehner succeeded Nancy Pelosi as House Speaker after they gained control of the chamber. Obama did not mince words. Even after all this time, many Americans still don't feel better financially, and he conceded as much by calling it a shellacking. Healthcare and budgetary disputes erupted soon after this change in authority. Also, the Republican Party was able to have considerable influence in the post-census redistricting process. The ride of a lifetime. At the outset, Obama had tremendous backing. Upon assuming office, 82% of Americans supported him. Nevertheless, those figures rapidly decreased once he began to make substantive judgments. By the end of 2009, approval had dropped to 50% nationwide. Even though he lost Republicans and independents, Democrats remained loyal to him. He lost 45% of the vote in 2010 due to two major policies: healthcare reform and Wall Street reform. Things were already difficult before the Republicans seized control of the House. He was deeply wounded by the debt ceiling dispute of 2011. However, he managed to recover in time to defeat Mitt Romney in 2012. Not much changed during his second tenure. His approval ratings plummeted to the low 40s during the 2013 government shutdown and remained there until 2015. In 2016, as his presidency came to a close, his support base grew once more. However, the results he presented revealed an America deeply divided. While only 14% of Republicans were independents, he had failed to deliver on his promise of unity. One more thing was starting to emerge as Obama's approval numbers went up and down with every political skirmish. In the face of increasing opposition from Congress, would he be able to win back the confidence of a fractured nation? Constructing bridges while bearing the burden. Obama guided with a combination of level-headedness and lofty ambitions. He thought it was important to bring everyone together. Party members, corporate executives, and average citizens. He continued to seek a compromise and encourage dialogue even when confronted with divisive topics like healthcare and the economic crisis. Major laws were passed thanks to his "let's work together" approach, but many who want quicker and bolder action were frustrated. His leadership was characterized by a focus on the long term. Opponents said Obama was too cautious or sluggish to act, but Obama prioritized modest but steady improvement over radical changes. Instead than trying to push things through, he would prefer to gather support gradually. Although this approach helped him weather significant storms and accomplish great achievements, it also subjected him to heavy criticism from all quarters. He was criticized by Republicans for going too far and by many Democrats for not going far enough. Ultimately, his leadership style demonstrated the potential and limitations of attempting to unite a nation that is deeply divided. In light of all the speculation regarding Obama, what is your opinion? Is it going to change his legacy? Or will his accomplishments be overshadowed by the backlash? Leave a comment below and tell us what you think. Please subscribe, like, and share for more content like this. Be sure to click on the video that appears next. I promise you, you will appreciate it.